Hey guys, so of course, hopefully you guys have had a chance to check out my previous two videos. The first on the Omega Seamaster Professional 300 meter master coaxial chronometer with the new wave dial, and of course the Tudor Black Bay steel with the date. But now we had to do one more video just kind of comparing the two a little bit. So anyways, of course, the box to my left over here is the Omega Seamaster box, and the box to the right is the Tudor. So just right off the bat, noticeable difference. Omega, much bigger, and Tudor, much smaller. Not that that makes a huge difference. But when it comes to, of course, just the presentation, and I could get this turn around a little bit here because it was originally like this. But Omega, it's like a great cook, just a overall much better just presentation there. Tudor, it's kind of like you're jumping through a couple little hoops here to get to the box and things like that. So really, I mean, who wins out here? Very clear. Omega, of course, with the upper hand, more expensive as well, versus the Tudor, which is over here. And then, of course, the Omega, just very, very nice with the operating instructions here. And then of course, the beautiful sleeve, which is just, class pretty much all the way. And, again, with the Tudor, and let me just put that down there for a quick second. You open up the box, it's nice and stuff like that. But again, it's like, okay, a couple booklets, great, whatever. So again, Omega is winning out pretty much hands down here. Sorry, I know it's such an unfair comparison, but that's why we're kind of doing it. It's actually kind of fun and maybe a little bit funny. I don't know. So we have, of course, the two here side by side. And I mean, of course, beautiful leatherette versus kind of like a, nice suede. And of course, I mentioned in my previous video the nice little hideaway box there for like another band or something, which is kind of cool. Omega does not have that, but still, take a look at this box. Beautiful hinges, much bigger. Just everything is great. So, let's kind of maybe get into the watches itself for a few quick seconds here. So of course, the beautiful, everything's leather with Omega. Everything is just, kind of suede, but still nice with Tudor. Omega, just a little bit of extra class there all the way. So anyways, we have both of these watches up here. The Omega, in terms of size, 42 millimeters on the wrist. And I will do a quick little take on that one for you guys. Let me just get the clasp off here. So 42 millimeters, of course, on the wrist there with the Omega. Very, very nice, very, very, very comfortable fitting. And, of course, with the Tudor, of course, also very, very nice. Can't complain about that. Slightly smaller at 41 millimeters. Still very, very nice. Can't complain too much about it. And in terms of weight, both very similar. The Tudor is definitely slightly heavier of the two, not even a question. In terms of the dials, of course, the Tudor with the black, Omega with the blue, beautiful wave dial, ZR02, ceramic, which is very nice. It will stay very, very nice for many, many years to come and really won't fade or do anything. The Tudor is just more of a like a matte black finish, which is also very, very nice. Can't complain, but here the Omega certainly wins out. In terms of the, but they're both also dome sapphire crystals, so scratch resistant. The only thing that can theoretically only scratch them is a diamond, which is harder than sapphire. The lug width here, the Omega, of course, is the 20 millimeter, and the Tudor is approximately 22 millimeter, as I kind of showed you guys in the previous video. Both watches have the date wheels. I guess you could say the Tudor is a little bit more pronounced and easier to read, although the Omega is pretty easy to read too, as you guys can see from your vantage points. The Omega is slightly cleaner with the date wheel at the 6 o'clock position versus the Tudor at 3 o'clock position, and Omega does not sacrifice even just the slight hour marker at 6 o'clock. In terms of the hands, Tudor's got the snowflake hands with, of course, sorry, I'm just itching my eye for a second, the luminescence on the hour and minute hands, where the Omega is more of the skeleton hands, but of course surrounded by super luminova material, both the hour and minute hand. The other thing that's actually kind of nice, both watches kind of have it, is they have kind of like the lollipop seconds hands that are going around. What I mean by lollipop is that they have like the little marker at the end of it, which of course coated in super luminova. The only difference really here being that the Omega is a little bit more pronounced with the red tip, as you guys can see, versus the Tudor with just the standard silver just going all the way around the dial there. In terms of the bezels, of course, the Omega is ceramic, white ceramic coated, and it's got the minute markers going all the way around it, which is just a nice classic extra touch, whereas the Tudor, it's pretty much just a steel bezel, and it has the minute increments for just the 15 minutes, and then the rest going around the bezel just marked at 20, 30, 40, 50. And then, of course, they both have the hour, the 12 o'clock. I'm sorry, this phone keeps going in and out. It's not the greatest. Looking forward to the new S20, by the way, all the Samsung Galaxy fans out there. So they both have the Lume marker at 12 o'clock. Of course, the Omega has the conical helium escape valve, which is kind of newly redesigned. The Tudor does not. Some people don't mind that, some people do, so I'm going to let you guys all decide. In terms of the crowns, the Tudor is, certainly a little bit more pronounced, as you guys can see, slightly larger, but does not have the crown guards that the Omega does. The Omega has the very nice, they don't hinder the crown at all from operating. Both crowns are very, very easy to operate, of course. They're both screw-down crowns. The only difference in the watch is being that the Tudor is water resistant to 200 meters. The Omega is water resistant to 300 meters. So again, Omega is slightly winning out there. In terms of, how thick the watches are, let me just get this in a little bit better viewpoint so you guys can see. The Tudor, certainly looks a little bit more, sorry, there's just a little bit light going off there. Certainly seems just slightly thicker than the Omega, which I do believe that it is. But again, both of them have dome sapphire crystals. The only exception being, as you guys can see there, Tudor sits certainly a little bit higher, so slightly thicker. They do both have in-house caliber movements. I don't remember the caliber movement off the top of my head with the Tudor, but the Omega is the Omega caliber 8800 movement. And of course, you guys get the really the beautiful sapphire crystal case back with the Omega. And with the Tudor, unfortunately, it's just a regular screw-back case back. So again, Omega slightly higher on the list there, which is really nice. In terms of the bracelet design, I know a lot of people do like the Tudor bracelets a lot. Some people are a little partial to the Omega bracelets and do prefer to get this watch on the rubber strap. which I did order just to have with the set. I actually do happen to think that, but both of them are actually very, very nice. It's very hard to compare the two. A lot of people do say that the Omega is like one of the most comfortable bracelets in the world. But other people do like the texture and feel a little bit more of the Tudor. So I'm going to leave that one up to you guys. In terms of the clasps, I will say that this is really no contest. Again, with the Omega, you do have the wonderful micro adjust tool, or not micro adjust tool, but the micro adjust clasp there, so you can really slide it in, slide it out. And it has the excellent diver's extension clasp. Whereas with the Tudor, really, unfortunately, no such thing with that. Simply just a micro adjust clasp with 3 things, really no half links or anything, and there's no way to do a dive extension or anything else like that. So again, the Omega, certainly does clearly win in that arena. And then, they're both, the clasps are both very nice, although Omega's got the beautiful slightly embossed logo in it with the name, whereas Tudor just has just a little name on their clasp. And again, with the Tudor, you get the fold over safety button there. With the Omega, it is just simply the snap into place and double release to come out. So the Omega bracelet really designed quite a bit better than the Tudors, which is actually really, really nice. Just in terms of the overall look, I just happen to love the Omega. Excuse me. The other thing that you do see, so you get the scalloped bezel versus just kind of like the smooth bezel with the Tudor. Both pretty easy to turn. You guys probably saw my last videos. But what's great about the Omega, it's 120 click, and it sounds just so crisp going all the way around. Honestly, zero problem turning this whatsoever. We'll get that back to the 12 o'clock position there. I love the half minute and then the full minute turns there. Whereas with the Tudor, slightly louder, of course. Still very, very easy to operate. I would just give the slight edge probably to the Omega, just me personally. Although this one, again, very, very easy to turn. But again, only 60 click versus 120 click with the Omega, which I happen to really like. So let's pause this video and we will do the lume shots side by side. All right, so hopefully you guys are ready for the lume shots. Here we go. We're going to get both watches really, really lit up very, very nicely here. I'm going to give them kind of like equal amount of time with the lume and stuff like that. And then you guys will be able to kind of see which one is maybe slightly better, or do they both kind of cancel each other out and even win. I'm going to let you guys decide that. I'm just going to give this another few seconds on the Tudor here. And then we'll do another few seconds on the Omega here. You can almost kind of see it how, well, I mean, they both shine, happen to shine very, very nicely. I think the only reason why I would give the Omega the slight advantage here is because you do have the green minute hand, and it's just pretty much the same green glow all the way around. Of course, the green looms at 12, and then the beautiful, I kind of like the nicer blue with the Omega, which matches, of course, the dial color. So let's go put these on the Timegrapher and see what they're doing. Okay, so guys, first up is going to be the Tudor on the Timegrapher. We're going to place both watches dial up. We're going to see what they're both doing right now. The Tudor is rated to -4 +6 on a daily basis. beating at 28,800 vibrations per hour. And with the in-house caliber, it looks like it is keeping pretty much dead even perfect timing, which is obviously very impressive for any mechanical watch. This looks like it's maybe going down a little bit, but pretty much holding steady. So certainly performing within the COSC standards that it needs to perform to, which is very, very nice. And I say we pause the video and put the Omega on the Timegrapher. Alright guys, so it's the Omega's turn. And this one beats at 25,000 and 200 beats per minute. And this one looks to be doing about +1, +3. The Omega master chronometer movements are rated anywhere from 0 seconds a day, so dead even, to +5. And this one is certainly holding very true to that standard. Probably around +2-ish seconds a day, which is still absolutely phenomenal. I always like my watches to run a little faster than slower, or dead even, as you guys saw with the Tudor. So, maybe the Tudor movement maybe wins out a little bit more with accuracy in this case. Still, the Omega performs very, very nicely. Okay, guys, and we are back. So, so you guys saw what they were like on the wrists. You guys got some of the technical specifications. Which one do I think, obviously wins here? Clearly, I think the Omega does, with their master coaxial chronometer movement, the 15,000 Gauss to anti-magnetism, slightly larger case, of course, but just a great execution with the materials. The loom on the watch is really phenomenal. They're both, very easy to read. Maybe the Tudor slightly more easy to read. And then of course, the Tudor has like the instant date wheel change at midnight, where the Omega starts at maybe around 10 to 12, maybe 5 to 12, and then completes a few seconds before 12. Happen to to love the crown protectors on the Omega, of course, the extra dive extension and the micro adjustment with the band. Band is, I think it's just like a little bit more comfortable than what the Tudor offers. Still great pieces. And of course, in terms of the presentation in the boxes, Omega by pretty much a mile. But again, Tudor, really is a great brand in its own right. But I really happen to like the Omega. They also both sit very nicely on the wrist. Tudor is slightly thicker and a little bit more domed in the crystal. Of course, as you guys can see there, than the Omega is. But with the Omega, one of the things I'll probably be doing is swapping out this band to put on. And I know a lot of you guys will give me some crap here for it. I think I left it in the other room, but I'm going to be putting on the mesh strap onto it because I'm just a huge fan of mesh. Extremely comfortable, and I'll be able to kind of preserve the Omega band a little bit, although I'll probably wear the hell out of it anyways. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this comparison video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. Which watch do you like better? The other thing that I will finally comment on is with both these watches, or two things I guess rather, pretty much 22 millimeter lug width versus a 20 millimeter lug width. Both these watches, you could easily swap out the bands, put on leather, steel, rubber, NATO, whatever you guys would want. Both these watches will look great on pretty much either, maybe with the exception of leather. I don't know how great they would look on that. And then also, I think in the long run, obviously, Omega holds value slightly better than the Tudor. although the Tudor will hold value. This one with the retail price, Tudor of $3,900, the Omega slight bump at $5,200. Got phenomenal deals on both. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video, as well as the two previous videos with the unboxing and reviews on each of these watches. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section below, and I'll see you guys in the next videos.